Continental Tire Coach's Corner as we bring in the Kentucky head coach, John Calipari. Coach, how are you this morning?
Dan, how are you?
I'm great. Did you recruit Penny Hardaway?
No, he was there before, many years before I got there. But was a great. Larry Finch recruited him, and who was Larry Finch and Elvis were the two biggest things in Memphis, and then Penny was right there with them. So, and Penny is, just a great guy, terrific, does a good job with the kids, and is a Memphis icon.
Best player you ever saw in high school? Do you remember?
Well, saw LeBron. I mean, he was ridiculous. I would say that was one, throwing cross-court bounce passes at his size. And then just being able to dominate. Jason Kidd was really good, too, by the way. He was he could do whatever he wanted to do as a high school player.
Did you know that LeBron wasn't yet, he had no chance, but you still got to see him play in high school?
Well, he was at the camps.
Okay.
So you saw him. And Kevin Garnett was really a good high school player that way.
Who's the recruit that got away that still bothers you?
It doesn't bother me. I don't take this stuff personal. The kids that want to come here and play for us or me or wherever I was fine. And the ones that chose to go elsewhere, I don't. I'm disappointed at the time it happens, but but I miss on many more than we get. I mean, I always say I'm overrated as a recruiter, but.
Well, Izzo said he lost out on Chris Webber, that it still bothers him.
Well, Tom Izzo's nuts. That's why.
Did you see the tributes with Drazen Petrovic recently with the Nets? They gave out, I think, I don't know if it was some kind of bobblehead or some kind of commemoration of Drazen Petrovic. And I remember I was at CNN in New York, and I would get to see Drazen play in New Jersey.
Unbelievable, right?
I was just... He had so much bounce and energy and was not afraid of anybody in the game, right?
Just so sad. And, like you'd watch him and no one knew who he was because, European player, but you watch him and you're like, oh, my gosh. A sad deal, to be, in an accident that early in life and it's a sad deal, but boy, was he good. It's nice of the Nets to do that.
And you were coaching him, right?
No.
You didn't get a chance to?
That was before. No. That was probably 2 or 3 years before I took the Nets and 4 or 5 before I got fired by the Nets.
I don't know if I covered you when you were with the Nets. I don't remember. I remember you being there. I don't know if I was still working at CNN. I might have gone to ESPN after that.
You were at ESPN when I was at UMass, so you were at ESPN
89.
when I was with the Nets.
Okay, all right, and then you went Nets.
But
then
you're one of those guys that you forget about people quickly. If they can help you,
that's true.
And they're done.
Yeah.
They're And then later you say you look at name tags. You're looking at name tags like what? Who is this guy? Oh, John, I remember you.
Hey, once you dropped out of the top 25, I said there's no reason to have you on. Yeah, I was done with it.
That's right. I've been begging to come on the show, and you guys wouldn't have me.
And then all of a sudden your team started playing defense and listening to you, and then all of a sudden John Calipari's a great coach once again.
No, they'd never say that, but the team has come together, and, I got a great bunch of kids. You know what? We did this Facebook thing, and there's it's like an all access, and I don't do all accesses. I don't.
Well, let me give the official introduction. Inside the Madness, Kentucky Basketball. It's a 10-episode series that just started airing. It's produced for Facebook Watch, which is Facebook's brand new home for original programming. All right.
Yeah, so they came in, and initially I said no, but then I went at the players, and I said, do you guys want to do this? It's a great opportunity for people to get to know who you are. You are the youngest team to ever undertake what you're about to do. Never before in the history of our game. And you're great kids. You're good students. You're good to each other. You're just inexperienced and don't know crap. You don't know anything. But this would be a great avenue if you want to take it. And they came back and said, we'll do it because they don't know better. But then it kind of now all of a sudden it's like we're in a 4-game losing streak and they're saying, can we put this mic on you? I said, how about if I put the mic around your neck and choke you? I mean, it's, but we went through it. And I treated them like they weren't there. I literally didn't look at them, didn't care. Just go ahead, and it's transparent. But you get to know these kids. See, the problem we have right now in basketball, everyone thinks that those kids don't belong on a college campus. That is so wrong. So wrong. Yesterday, and I didn't see it, so I probably shouldn't comment on it, but that never stops me. Tony Kornheiser, Wilbon and Kornheiser are going back and forth about my statement of don't devalue education. And Tony says, well, that shouldn't come from Cal. Well, wait a minute. Why? And I like Tony. I really like Tony. Are you telling me that my kids don't belong on a campus, so we shouldn't talk? Are you talking about kids while they left? That devalues education. No, it doesn't. One, they all have lifetime scholarships. Dakari Johnson, Julius Randle, and now John Wall. I believe Brandon Knight have already started coming back to finish degrees, and it's going to take them time. So
wait,
I
they
am
have a lifetime,
who you should talk about academically.
Wait, they have a lifetime scholarship there of getting – okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they can come back whenever they choose to. But we've had 1,000 on this APR, how they rate us. We're in the top 10% academically because our kids all leave in good academic standing so they can come back and finish. I'm exactly who should talk about the academics. This stuff where these kids don't go the second term, that's a bunch of crap. And again, we're in a country right now, if you say something enough, just say it over and over. It becomes true. They don't go second term. They don't. It's all a bunch of crap. So this program gives you an idea of what college kids that are going through what my kids go through are doing.
Does the one and done work, Coach?
Look, here's what it is for those kids. It's a gap year.
Yeah.
I've heard this one. These kids aren't prepared. Well, you're drafting them at 19. And 18 years old, 19 years old, I should say, and 20. You say my kids aren't prepared? We've had 19 lottery picks. Guess what? They're all getting to second and third contracts. So you're saying my kids aren't prepared? My kids won the Community Assist Award. John Wall, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, getting involved. You're telling me my kids aren't involved? Or not ready?
Yeah, but I don't
for
think
this,
people are singling. I don't think people are necessarily singling you out. I think they
when
have.
When you talk about this, if you're saying in a blanket, none of these kids are ready, don't say that. There's some that aren't. Some of mine aren't, and why? They shouldn't have gone. And I told them that. But when they choose to go, I support them. And then when they get there, they say, oh, my gosh. It's a little different. Here, let me give you a couple things, because I do like to hear you speak. But, one, kids should be able to go out of high school.
Yes.
But how do we do that without devaluing education? Now, I'm going to give you some names. Sebastian Telfair, Jeremy Tyler, Leon Smith, Robert Swift, Jonathan Bender, Kwame Brown. Yeah. I mean, those are kids that you probably don't even know who they are, but they were out of high school and didn't make it. What if that's now kids all going, like we're going to encourage them to go to the D League, and they don't make it? Are we going to have a list of 1,000 of those, 2,000 of those? And then I ask you this, who's going to take care of them? We just had the highest graduation rate of African-American basketball players in the history of our sport last year. You know how many of those kids thought they were one and done or two and done?
Most of them.
Probably 90% of them.
Yeah.
But they stayed in school and they got it. Our kids have lifetime scholarships, and because we do it, other schools are doing it too now, that they can come back when they need to. Here's my thing. Players Association needs to be involved in this. Players Association. And I've talked to Michelle about it. Do a combine for juniors. Take 100 of them. Tell the ones that need to go to college, you need to go to school. You 15 or 12, you need to go directly to the NBA. But let them know. How about this? The Players Association oversees the agents. Well, figure something out where these parents can get advisors or be advised with you there as the Players Association. So now take this stuff. I don't want to hear one of my players talk to an agent or his family. Look, make it legal. If you're going to pin it on me when they're in another city or another state or out of the country and it comes back to me, then make it legal. And the Players Association can do it. Are you ready for this? You decide to go to college. Let the Players Association give these families loans so that they can travel with their teams. If they choose to move to a town where their son is going to play, they can take a loan and do it. Instead of having families move to towns, how the heck did they get there? Let that be legal.
What about if agents loaned, had loans to players, loaned them money, and everything was above board that you're loaning them money? That you make it official.
I would say, why not let the Players Association do it? Why even have a third party? Let me explain. These parents have dignity and don't want anyone else in their business. But if they have nothing, when you open up their refrigerator and there's a can of corn in there and someone's offering them money, they're going to take it, but they don't want to take it. They'd rather do their own thing with their family. You know why? No one's ever done anything for them. You think they trust some white guy walking in and giving them money? They don't trust that. They know what this is. In this country that we're in, when you have nothing, you ready? You can't get anything. You can't get a Coke, a hamburger, a quarter. When you have everything you need, I need nothing. They give me cars. They give me clothes. I never pay for a meal. We got this backwards. These families, if you help them, treat it like Olympics. These kids own their rights, their name, their likeness, their autograph. If they want to sign autographs for money, let them do it. It's theirs. If the school wants to control it somewhat, fine. If you want to put it in a fund, fine. But here's my point. Do we want, and it's a question we have to answer. I'm not saying this in a mean way. Do we want the NBA controlling all of these kids and all of their lives? It is not minor league baseball. Minor league baseball has single A, double A, triple A. You can last 9 years. You know what else minor league baseball does? As the 17th round draft pick, you can get a signing bonus, and, you ready? They will guarantee your education. It's not like here you come for 2 years and then go. Do we really want to encourage? And let me say this. It's a white sport. Unless you're Dominican, but if you're Dominican, you're owned by a club in Dominican Republic, and Major League Baseball has to pay for your rights, so you have to be sold that way.
Okay, but give me one rule that you would change. Like you only get one. What's the one thing you would change?
Why do I only get one? Everybody only gives me one stuff. I'm selfish. I like more than one.
I'm only going to give you one because you know what? You didn't deserve it this year yet. Let me see how you do at the end of the year. I don't know, Coach. Okay.
Look, I think again. We have no control whether kids should go out of high school to the NBA. That's between the Players Association and the NBA. No control, okay? What I believe we should do, these kids, they already have a program where these kids get loans for disability insurance. If you're eligible for the disability insurance, because Lloyd's of London said you have pro potential, you should also be eligible to get a loan for your family to travel to eliminate all this third-party crap. You go do it. You can do it yourself as a family. That would be the major thing. And then the second thing, because I'm not taking just one, would be the likeness, the signing, treating them like Olympians. Now, everybody wouldn't be treated the same. This isn't communism. We don't always get treated the same.
What if this was an open market, though? If someone is more talented and
more skilled, they get more than you get.
Okay, but Coach,
just how this country works.
Let's say it's an open market right now.
And let me say this. Hold on before you speak.
Okay.
Whatever we do, Kentucky's eating first. So I'd rather coach guys for 4 years, okay? But I'm saying, what are we doing for these kids? Do we really trust, again, the NBA to be about the kids, or are they going to be about the NBA? You tell me. Maybe they can come up and say, we'll give them all signing bonuses, every kid that comes out of high school, and we'll guarantee their education. You know what? I'm for that. Let's go. Sign me up. Short of that, I'm on the other side, and I don't care if the President of the United States says it's a good thing. I will be on the other side because why would we devalue education when that's the one hope to get people to the other side of the tracks? That's the hope, not the dream of I'm going to be in it. And you're 14 years old. You're Dan Patrick. How many bad decisions did you make? But let's just talk about when you're 14 and 15. And your choice is I'm going to be an NBA player or I'm going to really work at academics and get my education. What are you picking? You know which one you're picking. I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to have a big house. I'm going to have a watch. I'm going to have the nice car. I'm going to really, when about 1% make it, and then we're affecting one group of people because we know it. We're talking about African-American young people. What are we doing for them? How do we make sure they're making the right decisions for themselves, which is going to affect them the rest of their life?
Do you ask your kids if anybody's taken anything that like it's not even, with the booster or the coaches or anything that, an agent can get to these kids early and give them $25,000 loan? Like, how do you know if your players come in and they're not bringing any baggage with them?
Well, truth be told, you don't know, but our compliance would meet with them and meet with their families and go through anything. If there are any issues, let's deal with it. We will walk through this and deal with it. But our compliance does that.
Because they could hide it. There's usually not a paper trail,
And you know what I say, and I've been saying for years, one, we shouldn't have summer basketball. For me, I think I'd rather be with my own players and my own family. Second thing, you ready? If the coach cannot control it, make it legal. Because if I have no control over it and you're going to say I'm responsible for it, make it legal.
Yeah.
Make it legal. I don't care what it is. Make it legal. If you're going to tell me something happens in their high school, make it legal. If something happened in their hometown, make it legal. If something happened with them, make it legal. But I'll say this again. I'm not here to say I want one and done. I'm here to tell you what's best for these kids going right out of high school for 15. Do we upset this whole system for 15, 12, 8 kids, 7 kids, 9 kids, 12 kids, even if it's 20 kids? We have this thing, when you start talking these graduation rates and things that are happening, and high schools preparing these kids for college better than they ever have because they have to be eligible to play in college. When I coached in the Dominican Republic, one of the things I told them that would be different with basketball in Dominican than baseball. In basketball, they'd have to go to the United States or go to a team, but education can be a carrot now. For all these kids in Dominican to get to the United States to get education, and many of them will not be NBA players, but they're going to be educated and can come back to Dominican Republic now and then lead your country. That's what I said when I took over basketball for 2 years. It was about the education. And I know, again, I am one of the first Prop 48 coaches. And people out there that know what Prop 48 meant was I was barely eligible or wasn't eligible. But my family, the strides my own family has made has been based on academics. And the NCAA, please, if the NCAA encourages, are you ready for this? If the best 12 players, Dan, go to the NBA, do we really need you have to stay in school 2 or 3 years? You're going to school because you're going to have to stay 2 or 3 years, or you'd go right to the NBA.
You're yelling.
So you don't need
You're yelling.
Who's yelling?
You are. You're yelling.
It's Italian. When you're around a dinner table.
No, my wife's Italian.
To be heard, you got to talk louder than the other guy.
Okay, but I got to wrap this up.
I love talking to you. Or
good luck
talking at you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't think we talk. I think you yell at me. The SEC tournament Friday. Kentucky plays the winner of Missouri versus the winner of Georgia. Who cares? All right. We'll check in with you at the Final Four, okay?
Thanks, Dan. Tell the boys I said hello.
Okay, Coach. Thank you. There's Coach Cal. He was brought to you by Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Continental Tire, proud to be the exclusive tire of the Dan Patrick Show. No matter where you drive or what you drive, Continental designs tires for what you do. For more information, visit ContinentalTire.com. Continental Tire, for what you do.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.